Alright, so this is gonna be a quick one. I see a lot of people trying to compare and contrast, I guess, Saul Alvarez fighting against Amir Khan with Floyd Mayweather fighting against Juan Manuel Marquez. You know, they're talking about, oh, Khan's moving up a weight class and a half, a weight class plus essentially, and Marquez moved up a weight class and a half, a weight class plus. I mean, a lot of people they're saying, oh, he moved up two weight classes. I mean, I guess he did in a way in the end when Floyd renegotiated the contract and everything. But see, that's besides the point. The difference here is when Floyd and Marquez fought. First of all, Marquez called out Floyd after beating Juan Diaz, after beating him for the first time, after beating him for the first time in their Fight of the Year candidate. He called out Floyd. Not only that, but he literally said in the interview, in the post-fight interview, since Manny Pacquiao was ducking me, which he was at the time, I want Floyd Mayweather. Now, at that time, of course, people were saying that Floyd Mayweather was ducking Manny Pacquiao, that he retired to avoid him, that he didn't want any parts of him. And at that time, Marquez and Pacquiao had only had the two fights. The first fight, which ended in a draw, and the second fight, which was a controversial win for Pacquiao. A lot of people thought that Marquez won that fight. And after that, Pacquiao went on fighting soft-ass dudes like David Diaz in order to start making his way up the weight classes, and Marquez followed him up the weights. Now, if Floyd Mayweather was running for Manny Pacquiao, and he was supposed to fight Pacquiao, Pacquiao was his, the number one opponent that he was supposed to be fighting at that time, then why isn't it okay for him to be fighting the guy that literally fought to a stalemate with that same guy? If Marquez was good enough to fight Pacquiao to a stalemate, and Pacquiao is so good that Floyd is scared shitless of losing to him, then shouldn't it stand to reason that Marquez is more than of a proper matchup for Floyd too? I mean, think about it. You have three guys. Pacquiao is supposedly as good or better than Floyd. Marquez already proved that he was as good as Pacquiao. So, therefore, because A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Marquez was a legit opponent for Floyd. Now, contrast that with Canelo versus Khan. Amir Khan, Canelo's biggest rivals right now is Gennady Golovkin. Most recently, there was a Miguel Cotto, and he already beat Cotto. And then you got Billy Joe Saunders, you got Erislandy Lara, you got Daniel Jacobs. These are pretty much his prime rivals, those guys right there. Hell, fuck it. Let's throw a couple of the other 154 guys in there. The Charlo brothers and Demetrius Andre. Amir Khan has beaten, fought to a stalemate, fought to anything with none of them. None of them. Amir Khan has beaten and or fought to a stalemate with none of the top fighters at welterweight. Amir Khan hasn't even beaten the best fighters that were at light welterweight, that are now at welterweight, incidentally. Danny Garcia, you got Lamont Peterson. I mean, he got knocked out by Danny Garcia, first of all. He lost him to Lamont Peterson, okay, yeah. Peterson was on the synthetic testosterone, okay. But even still, he didn't go in there, he isn't going in there and dominating Thurman, dominating Porter, fucking dominating Brook. He didn't go in there and fight Erislandy Lara and prove that he was on the equal level of Lara, because that would be the equivalent of what Marquez was to Pacquiao and Floyd. If Khan was to have gone in there with somebody like Lara, somebody like Golovkin, fuck it, somebody like even Cotto, and fought evenly with them, that would stand to reason then that Khan would be a legit even opponent for Canelo. But anybody that's favoring Khan over Canelo or saying that this is really like an amazing fight for Alvarez is bullshit, man. They're fucking playing themselves, and they're playing themselves fucking doubly, triply, quadruply when they're trying to compare it to Floyd versus Marquez. But yeah, Floyd's biggest rival was Pacquiao. Pacquiao's biggest his biggest nemesis not even rival, fucking nemesis, the dude that he didn't want any piece of for half a decade, was Marquez. Last I checked, Golovkin wasn't running away from Khan, and neither was Lara, neither was Jacobs. Oh my god. I can only imagine what somebody like Jacobs would do to Khan. Oh shit. No, it's not the same. To even compare it is asinine and just exposes the level, the ridiculous level of bias that you have. This is a money grab cherry pick by Alvarez because he knows that he could pretty much hit a light switch and turn Khan to the fuck to sleep whenever he feels like it. Whenever he decides that he's had enough of playing around with the guy. And with Khan, I mean, he's making a grip of money, and it's almost a no lose situation unless he gets like permanently injured or some shit. And even then, it's not like the likelihood that he takes some sort of career-ending sustained beating isn't likely. It's more likely that he gets cracked, dropped, and that's it. You know, and then he lives to fight another day. He gets put on the, oh well, he beat Canelo, so let me see if I could beat him better than Canelo did train. And that's as far as it goes for Khan. But for Alvarez, I mean, this is just another money grab excuse to avoid the guys that he really should be fighting. You know, the guys that are legitimate threats to him. The guys that are legitimate, constant knockout threats to him. Knockout threats to him. Guys that will bring flashbacks of that first round against Jose Cotto and then some. At every moment of the fight until the final bell rings or until one of them is knocked out. So that's it.